6, John Furlich, who will talk about whatever he wants you to know and make you think he's the best guy for the job. So with that, I'll turn it over to him, and I'm going to turn the light out maybe a little before he's ready because he wants to show you the short CD. John, it's yours.
Thank you. This is my second time here. I am John Furlich. I'm the Democratic nominee for Congress here in the 6th District. Last time I was here, I found that it was a good idea to describe the district before we started. It includes the southern part of Jefferson County all the way up to Pine, which is actually in Park County, so a little piece of Park County as well. All of Douglas County, which of course we're in, all of Elbert County, and south of Arapahoe County, which is Aurora, Greenwood Village, Centennial, and Littleton. As I said the last time I was here, I honestly believe the generations are judged and named. And most of you are part of the generation that was judged to be the greatest generation. Now, in 1995, when I moved here, I was 5 years away from retiring from the Marine Corps Reserve. I started to reflect on the accomplishments of my generation. The oldest people in my generation, some of them went to Vietnam, some of them served in many ways. But I think overall, our generation won't be judged so kindly if time were to stop right now. And of course, time doesn't stop, and we have time to change our legacy. But we have a lot of work to do. And I have to say, to accomplish the things that we need to accomplish, we need to have optimism, establish common ground across the political spectrum, and address the problems the incredible problems that face our country right now. So I want to stop there. We have a new CD. I'll show it to you. If you start, this is the first time I've showed it, so your feedback I'd appreciate. But it just shows a little bit about my life and my motivations. So if I can see how to do that. It's playing. You had it working before?
He didn't say the word Democrat yet.
It was playing.
He didn't say the word.
They didn't say the Pledge of Allegiance. We always do that.
Yeah.
Before every meeting. They never do it.
Well. This is quite a facility with all this. Uh-huh. How long have you lived here?
2 years and 1 month.
Influenced me most in the
2 years, 2
of
months.
my life. And my father was a great influence on me. My coaches growing up, and believe it or not, all of these figures through history, starting with the founding fathers. It just astounded me that people were well-to-do, had so much on the line in terms of their prosperity and families, and yet were willing to give it all up. And that was really me. And the last sort of role models to me, again, it wasn't any one person, but it was these older brothers throughout our neighborhood who had gone to Vietnam and served. These guys went over there, they did what they were supposed to do, they put it on the line because the country said that they needed it.
Always one to walk the walk, John joined the Marines at a time when respect for our armed forces was at an all-time low. John rose quickly through the ranks to become a decorated F-18 pilot, and later an instructor in the Marines version of Top Gun. As a lieutenant colonel, he served as a tactical nuclear weapons security officer, and later lectured
run for Congress and my joining the Marine Corps are very similar in that I've always been drawn to our greatest institutions. They seem to be a little bit down and out. Back then, the Marine Corps, it was the end of the Vietnam War, and so there were lots of people, especially in England, who didn't look so favorably on any of our military services. And I always thought being part of the Marine Corps is just one of the greatest institutions you could ever be part of. And I think of the Congress the same way. But I love the idea of being involved in bringing back the great reputation of our greatest institutions. And so my career in the Marine Corps did just that.
The leadership and aviation skills John acquired during his time in the Marines served him well in the next chapter of his career.
As a pilot for a major airline,
John is responsible for the lives of thousands of people whom each year entrust him to bring them safely to their destinations.
When there's a problem on a flight in the airline business, we address that problem through calmness and optimism, and we build a team. We build the team of the people that will solve the problem and get the problem solved and to bring the people safely to their destination. And so when I go to the Congress, I'll work with whoever it takes. We build a team, whatever is necessary to address the problems that face our community, that face our country, to get these problems solved.
And now, John Flertage is continuing his service to country by serving the people the best way he knows as the next congressman from CD6. In that role, John is taking the same no-nonsense, straightforward approach that has served him and our country so well in the past.
We're leaving the next generation of Americans the world that may not be better than the one we inherited. And I just felt that there were too many people involved in politics who had this veneer of service. They talk the talk, and they don't get things done. They're in it for self-service, not for service. It doesn't matter what you say. You can say anything, any rhetoric whatsoever. If you don't act on it in some way, you don't believe it. You don't believe it unless you take action. And so it's time to solve these pressing problems that face us so that we don't leave the next generation of Americans a country that's loaded with debt and loaded with trash. That's got to stop.
John has been endorsed by interests that span the political spectrum: business leaders, working people, war heroes, and champions of government from across the country. But the endorsement that is most important to John comes from those who know him best.
My wife has been incredibly supportive. She is not drawn to the stage in any way, but she has stood with me in front of the people. I have 3 children, my son David, my son Carl, and my daughter Lisa. That's the support I need.
Character counts, morality counts, integrity counts, and most importantly, your vote counts.
I want the voters of this district to understand that I am very optimistic about being the next representative of our district after November 2nd, 2010. Reporters, all sorts of people interview me and talk to me, voters, and they always approach it from a partisan perspective. Are you Democrat vote and are you liberal? I'm an American first, and people get that. I've reached out to Democrats, of course, but I spend so much time with unaffiliated voters and Republican voters. It doesn't matter what their background is. And people understand that about me, that I'll give a straight answer, and that the lines of communication will always be open, and that when I go to Washington, I will bring all of you